Welcome back to the Joe Mac podcast. I have a very special guest. He is a actor residing in Southern California, very talented, Mr. Tony Privette. Pleasure to have you on. He's also my acting partner for an upcoming performance.
Yep. Good to be here, man.
Oh, good to be with you, man. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Where should we start? So you and I had class last night at Tower Talent Studio West, and shout outs to Shawan Edwards, the instructor. He had a lot of guidance and for both of us.
He's great. You know, he wants to get the best out of you, and that's what an acting coach is supposed to do. So,
why are you an actor?
I love being the center of attention. Really.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be an actor since I was 6 years old. Really.
Okay. What makes somebody an actor?
Who they are.
Who they are.
You know, really, it's just being themselves, but being able to bring somebody else into them. So, I mean, it's there. You know, it's like what makes a skateboarder a skateboarder. You know, somebody gave them the skateboard, obviously. So, I mean, people find reasons of their own, but for me, it's just I love making people laugh. You know, so.
Yeah, and you had an actual performance. What was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. It was last week actually.
I caught it live, and the crowd was going nuts.
Yeah,
they loved you.
I love theater. Theater's what I grew up in.
What makes theaters? So you started out in theater.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get a quick overview for those who aren't familiar with you. When did you? So when did the interest start? Like just watch TV, like, hey, look, because I mean, everybody says that at one point in time, don't they? They're like, hey,
sure.
I could do that. I want to, I could do that.
For me, it started with my 6th birthday. I got a copy of The Terminator for my birthday.
Oh, for 6th birthday? Oh,
so, yeah.
Good job, parents.
Hey, they did do a great job because they molded me, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger was the man. I wanted to like, obviously I'm not him. Like I'm a scrawny little white boy, but that was it. I was like, I want to do that. And obviously when I first started out, I was horrible.
Okay.
Like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was a very different person. I was shy, reserved. You know, home life was a little whatever, but.
What's your, real quick side to, what is your acting experience up to this point? If you could summarize it in a brief summary of your acting resume up to this point.
Well, my resume is very weak.
It's very weak.
Yeah. I just have the theater, some theater things. I did.
Well, expand on that, because you said that's the basis of you as an actor is your work in theater. Is that correct?
Right. Well, I mean, I grew up as a theater person, so that's how I was trained in theater.
That's how you were trained. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that in high school?
Middle school is when I started.
Middle school is when you started.
I've done a couple things out of that.
Okay.
Out of high school and everything.
So you were on stage in middle school in front of parents, teachers, students, peers, reading lines on a stage in front of people live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got comfortable with that at a fairly young age.
I wouldn't say comfortable, but yeah.
Okay.
I got used to it.
You got used to it, and you enjoyed it enough to want to pursue it professionally.
Oh, for sure.
Now, you have military service just like I do. At what point did you decide, I mean, was it military over show business, or how did that work out?
Well, the military just kind of happened because my parents suggested it. I kind of really didn't want to go in.
You did not want to go in?
I don't regret going in. It was one of the best decisions I've made in my life.
Okay.
The people I've met, the places I've been able to go.
And just hold the mic a little bit closer, because I think it's going to be better.
Yeah. And so I did that. You know, money was a little tight with the family then. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do it.
Okay.
And I joined the Navy. It was a great 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years was about it for me.
And you served from 05 to 09, is that correct?
Yeah.
Same years as I did.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the same, I like how we have that similarity. So we're both in our kind of 30s. We're both military vets, same era. And we're both in show business, and we're both trained actors.
Yeah.
And we're both in the same class, and we're scene partners as well.
That's true. That's correct.
That's why I wanted to have you on. I'm glad you're here. And
thank you for having me again.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we haven't even, really scratched the surface. But so I just wanted to put that out there. And then where did we leave off? You said
military service.
Military service. Okay, so you weren't that interested in it. It was kind of brought your attention.
I was very interested in it. I was good at it. I was, climbing up the ranks. Yeah. I just saw a lot of political stuff that I didn't like.
Okay.
And
when you got out, did you know that you were going to go back to show business? Was that the plan, or was that the strategy?
That was the plan. What happened was not that, though.
What was your plan, and what was your expectation? I mean, were you thinking, okay, look, I'm going to transition out. I'm going to move to Los Angeles. I'm going to nail some auditions. I'm going to get recognized and noted and all those things. Was that the game plan?
That was the gist of it.
That was the gist of it. Okay.
But when I got out, I didn't do that.
What, you just kind of got sidetracked?
Yeah, well, you could say that.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
But you're on track now, obviously.
Oh yeah, it took about a little over a decade, but I got there.
Okay. And from what I can tell, from what I've known you for the past month, 2 months, you're taking it seriously.
For sure.
And I recognize that. I'm that type of person. I'm not here for giggles.
Yeah.
I'm here for opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I respect about you. That's what I like about you. And what's your big picture? What's your big vision? Where are you going from here?
Where I'm going from here is I want to get an agent.
Okay.
And I would like to have one in San Diego as well as Los Angeles.
As well as Los Angeles. Okay.
But I mean, I just want to get out there and get books.
Yeah.
Booked, so.
Now, are you thinking, okay, because this is my kind of mind frame is commercial work is what pays well, right? I mean, however, if you can get 10, 20, 50, 100 grand for a commercial, right? But that's a one-time shot. You got to keep reproducing that opportunity, right? Or the agent has to find, it's kind of dependent upon the agent that you have to find that for you, right? Because you're signed exclusively to that agent for a certain amount of time.
Well, yeah, to some degree, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're lucky enough to get a commercial like that, I mean, that sets you up. That can boost your career. That can get you out of your 9-to-5 job and focus 100% on your acting career.
Absolutely. Are you looking for that type of break, or are you looking for more, hey, I want to get into the more theatrical character that is consistently doing something on a TV series, or like where's or are you just kind of wide open at this point?
I'm the type of actor who will really, like, if I like the script, if it doesn't matter what kind of character it is, I want to play it. I'm an actor. I want to do everything, So whatever comes my way, right? If it's a good script, right? I mean, obviously, if the money's really good, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm in it to be an actor.
You're not concerned with being cool on camera.
No, I mean, I'm fine with looking like an idiot on camera.
You are.
Oh yeah.
And does that go back to you just knowing how to be comfortable and just doing whatever is required in that moment on the stage, live in real time in front of those people?
Yeah, it's a long time of failing on stage, and failing in life.
Yeah.
To just, I'm at the point where I'm like, look, I just want to make people laugh, even if they're laughing at me. That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Is like, they were loving it, and you were, you were really performing, and you were enjoying it too, and it was obvious. I'm like, whether there's cameras on you or not, you're gonna put out that effort, and I'm thinking, is that what's necessary to become successful? Because not necessarily. I mean, if the camera's on Joe Schmo and XYZ happen, then that's kind of.
Well, in the theater capacity, what I did was great because you have to be like that. You have to be animated. You have to be extra, right?
Extra.
On the film, you can be those things, but without the emotions and the actions, So, I mean, you don't really have to be like that to be successful. I don't think so at all.
Gotcha. And how do you feel about Tower Talent and the classes and the auditions and all those things? I mean, how has that affected your game since since you started?
I wish I knew about them earlier.
Okay.
For as long as I've been in San Diego, that I could have been with them. I mean, I think they're great. You know, Shawan's a great teacher.
Yeah.
They're all a great bunch of people over there.
I agree 100%. I was thinking the same thing. This is something that, but hey, look, time is now, so we have to seize that opportunity. And what else should we be doing?
Living your life, it's right now, especially, it's not a lot people out there taking risks because of the coronavirus and all that, but live your life, just do what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. You don't have to live by somebody else's rules all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a matter of doing what you want to do and being happy with what you're doing.
Gotcha. Now, you have a special technique for memorizing lines that you shared with me that really helped me out a lot, and it definitely enhanced my performance, even though, there was a lot of feedback last night.
Yeah.
Which is great because I'm learning how to really bite into the character. I'm learning how to communicate the subtext of the script. And I see you doing it, and I'm like, okay, well, let me take a page out of this guy's book. For all the actors out there that are training consistently and that are going on auditions and that are reading scripts, and what can they take away from your toolbox to become more successful in that regard of auditioning, script reading, and memorization in particular?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is the memorizing, right? That's what Shawan Edward from Tower Talent has always said. It's only 1% of it is the memorizing. The rest of it is in the script and what you're doing with it. So, I mean, the quicker you can memorize, the better. And it's different for everybody. Everybody learns differently to memorize. But as soon as you get that down, the more you can dive into that script and find out who you are as that character.
Right. I like that. Now, as far as technically looking at those words on the page and committing those to memory, what's your technique? How do you do it?
So I'll start out by reading my lines, right? And then I'll say it out loud as best I can. I'll read it again. I'll do that about 2 or 3 times for a line or whatever. And then I'll do that for the paragraph. If it depends on what I'm, if it's a monologue,
okay,
or a script that I'm learning, I'll read the lines and then I'll say them without looking at them. And it works. It's like repetition. So then it just gets like molded into my head.
Absolutely. And you and I are actually going to Los Angeles for the Industry Network event, which is basically a gathering of, how would you describe it?
So there's going to be a lot of like casting directors, agencies, and managers that are going to be up there for talent to go up there and show them what they got. And then it's going to be like 3 days of us, performing for them. And then there's going to be a meet with them. And then however many callbacks you get from however many agencies there are there, you'll go and you'll talk to them and hopefully get signed by one of them. But
more than hope is the strategy that's going to be in play, a strategy, right?
Oh.
What is your strategy going to be? What is essentially, you don't want to just go for anything. It's got to be lucrative. And how are you going to make sure that you're getting what you're capable of producing, like that trade-off? You know what I mean? How are you, what steps are you going to take to ensure that you get what you want?
I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be completely comfortable with myself. I'm going to be fully prepared, and the material that I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to be myself.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to be what somebody else wants me to be, unless it's one of the people that are saying, hey, try to do this, like a casting director. If they suggest something, I'll do it, sure.
What kind of contract, what kind of offer would have to be on this table for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and sign that, and I'm going to go ahead and, that's life changing. What would it have to look like for an offer to be like, you know what, that's life changing, I'm going for that? What does that look like in a contract from an agency? Does that even exist, or is that? Does that even exist?
That comes after you sign, and then you book like a big show or a movie or something. That's when that happens.
Gotcha.
But like signing with somebody, that's still a life changing, a big moment, because now you have representation. They're gonna get you out there, right? I mean, you can do it yourself, but it's extremely difficult. You have an agency or a manager that gets you out places. They know a lot of people. They get you in the room, and then it's up to you.
Gotcha. What else? Where else do you want to go? I mean, are you thinking about other things other than acting? Are you thinking about things other than
all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of friends that make music. We want to make music.
Okay.
I'm actually talking with a buddy of mine. We're trying to start our own podcast.
Okay.
It's just like two dudes sitting in a bar talking about life events.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I want to travel again. I miss traveling. That was the best time. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there I want to do.
Gotcha. Are you interested in creating your own scripts and creating your own shows, and other than podcasts, obviously, but other, kind of media productions?
For sure. I mean, I have so many stories in my head, so many memories that are like, there's no way that really happened, but they did. So, I mean, I remember being in the Navy, laying in my rack, and then above my rack was my friend's rack, and we'd stay up, a couple hours before we'd hit, go to sleep, and we'd be talking about all these characters we want to be and all these.
Right.
We wrote a bunch of stuff down, and so I mean, he's living up in LA right now, so we keep in touch. There's a lot of stuff, but writing and producing and directing, that's definitely in the back of my head. But right now, I'm just focused on acting.
Gotcha. Very good. And what words do you have for somebody that is either coming out of the military or has been out for a while and they've always wanted to pursue show business and become successful in the entertainment industry, but they're not sure where to start? I mean, what advice do you have for them watching now that are just seeing people like you and me actually do it?
I mean, just go out there and follow your dream. Look for something. Google, an acting school that's near you, or just try to get into something. It's going to be rough at first because, I mean, to get into the industry, you have to pay.
Right.
But that's for schooling and that's for headshots. Or maybe trying to get yourself to another place or whatever. But, just be careful about paying people that say they're managers or agents if they sign you, right? You don't pay them until you get paid as an actor. So, but just keep going at it, fight for that fight.
Gotcha. Anything else for the viewers out there that are watching this now and they're gaining kind of some value from it? From what you said, I mean, anything else to add to that before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, for sure. It's never too late. Like for the better part of the decade, I did a lot of stupid things. I made some dumb choices, right? I was always my hardest critic. I would always put myself down whenever I would watch like Joaquin Phoenix or Tom Hardy. I'd be like, man, I can't do this. What am I thinking about? That's never base anything that you can do off of anybody else's performance. Be a tough critic on yourself, but not to the point where it's going to make you feel a little depressed and want to get out of the business because of that. So keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be great. Everybody's going to love you.
Everybody's going to love you, right? I mean, look, everybody loves this guy. I'm trying to be like you, man.
Hey. Got to start somewhere.
Hey, I appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you for having me again.
Hey, tune in next time to the Joe Mac podcast. This is Tony Privette. Hey, give them the Instagram, give them the YouTube, Snapchat, all that.
Privette21. Check me out.
Spell it out.
PVITTY 21.
Privette. Hey, I like it. Check him out. He's gonna be a superstar. You know why? Because he's my scene partner. That's why.
Hopefully one day, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.